Hello everybody, my name is Cheryl. I just took my boards today and I passed. This is the second time that I took my boards. I did not pass the first time. I just wanted to make a video and share with everyone my experience with taking the boards and everything I did that was wrong the first time and what I did that was right to pass the second time. I'll just want to start off by saying I graduated in May. I did not feel like remotely studying for my boards right after I graduated. I was just tired. That was just me. I wanted to just kind of have fun and enjoy myself for a little while. So, you know, I went on vacation. I did things I had to do in that sense. I had a job that's very busy and stressful. So, and I worked nights, 5 nights a week. So, I just wanted to relax a little bit. So I started studying for my boards in June, but I can't say I really started studying. I brought a Holier review, and it's an online review, so I used that and took my time going through the lessons. I also brought the Fitzgerald review, and it came with this book here, and I also brought the MP3 player, Fitzgerald. That was the first time I took my boards. What I did wrong the first time I took my boards. First of all, Holier mentioned at the end of her review, you need to take the time to really sit and go through the lessons yourself, each system. Make sure you hone in on things you don't know. You know, just take that time to go over everything. I didn't do that. I was scheduled for my boards July 31st. I moved the date up to July 9th. I barely reviewed on my own. I almost felt like just taking the review courses was good enough for me. I was listening to my Fitzgerald at night while I worked, and I just felt like, oh, I'm just getting it. You know, I'm listening to it. This is awesome. I'm studying. I'm at work. Whatever. When I took the boards, I failed. I'm not miserably. I only failed by 20 points for someone who didn't study. 20 points isn't too bad. But going in there, I didn't even know how to treat heart failure. Just basic stuff that I didn't know. Just because, you know, the review will go over it, but you have to go over it again and make your own notes. Like, go over it on your own, do things like that. Really do like a little study. Well, I didn't do that part. So after I failed my boards, I was really upset, surprisingly. I don't know why I was upset. I should have expected it. I was really upset. I cried. I just wanted it to be over. So I came home and I was in my, you know, soaking in my feelings for not long. It took me a couple hours to get out of it and say, okay, what's next? I know I need to study. What's next? What do I have to do to take these boards? I went through AANP the first time, and I decided to do the second time. Why not stick to what I know? You know, I know how this test is. I didn't find it to be a hard test the first time. I just didn't have the information at all. So I did all my CEUs within 2 days, and then I paid to be able to take the test again. And in a couple days, I was approved to take the test again. So I had planned on taking the test again in a few weeks, but once I started studying and making a plan of studying, I realized I wasn't going to be ready in 2 weeks either. I literally just started over. I didn't do another review course because I did the review course the first time. So what I did was I used the Maria Leak. This is an amazing, awesome book. Let me tell you. She is organized. She goes through everything you need to know for that exam. I got a notebook. I started taking notes. You know, this is my notebook full of notes that I was taking every day. On each lesson, I had in my calendar, I broke down each system and how I was going to work out my study plan. And I went through each system, detail by detail, using Maria Leak's book. She goes through everything. So far, I haven't found a review course that covers everything. Like Holier, she's really good, really good. What the point is with the reviews are, they really help you like learn The heart murmurs. I know how to solve any heart murmur question. The hematology, she broke that down like I never understood it before. I can answer any question about that. The antibiotics, like important stuff like that. Like, you do need to take a review course. It really helps you understand, because I wouldn't be able to come in here and read this book about murmurs if it wasn't for me taking the review course. Now, when this book talks about murmurs, I could really hone in on the knowledge, and they have a different way of you remembering it. I just went with my holier review on how to remember my murmurs, but with the signs and symptoms and this associated with this is whatever, this book does a really good job at breaking down everything. One thing that was on my exam in women's health was the pap smears. I didn't even touch that the first exam. I'm like, oh, that kind of stuff won't be on the test. I don't know why I didn't think it would. This is just me not prepared for the test. This breaks down, the pap smears, just like the exam. I mean, it seems like this lady, she writes the exam or something, because she really prepares you for the exam. With the pap smears for the ages and what to do with the squamous and the a typical cell, like whatever. It's in this book. It's in this book. You study this book from front to back, you will do well on that exam. The questions, they have questions in the back. I didn't so much do the questions in the back, but the app that this comes with an app that I downloaded on my phone. You can use this anywhere. You can use it at work. After I read a lesson, I will go to the app and answer the questions that went along with that lesson. And that's what I would do. So I answered about, 500 questions through the app with this. And it didn't seem time consuming. It just went along with the lesson, So this is a really good book, a must have for passing your boards. It goes through everything. One other thing I wanted to say is that, like, these reviews, like Holier, she talks about the musculoskeletal system, but then she doesn't hone in on it like this book does. Like ankylosing spondylitis, it's covered, like a whole bunch of different topics are covered under the musculoskeletal system here, and it's on the exam. That's not covered in like the reviews. So I just wanted to let you know that's a really good book to have for studying for your boards, because it just goes through everything. Whatever you don't understand, then you look it up and you make sure you understand it. This book, I couldn't use it because I felt like when I opened it, it was just like, it's too wordy and too busy for someone who's anxiously trying to study. It just kind of gives you anxieties in my mind, like, oh my God, how am I going to learn all this? And then it has a bunch of information you just don't need for your exam. So, and it just doesn't organize it in a way that you can just learn it. I don't know. Me personally, I feel like this book is not a good review for the boards. I feel like it's a good review for an already nurse practitioner who wants to know more information. This will be good for when I start practicing. I'll hone in on this book and Miss Fitzgerald for that purpose. But for my boards, it was just information overload, and I wasted a lot of time the first time. Like some of these recordings like take an hour or two or whatever the case to listen to it. I could have been doing something else with my time. It was just too much information that I don't feel like would help me on a test. But there are people who pass using Fitzgerald. That's their, it's personal. Also, I use this. This is Holier's question and answer certification book. This book right here is amazing. A lot of questions, a few questions on the exam are in this book. It really, really covers all the important things that you would be tested on, and it helps you understand, and it has the rationales. And then what I really, really like about this book is you have your questions on like the first page, and on the next page are the answers to those questions. So all you have to do is flip your book like this to see the answers, and then the rationales follow. It's an amazing book. It really helped me learn a lot. Let me tell you, today when I took my exam, it was so easy. So easy. There was no question about how easy it was. I was just nervous because I wanted to pass. That's the only problem I had with the exam, is my nervousness. But besides that, it was a really easy exam. Um, so that's my experience with taking the exam. Oh, and I also, one last thing that I did use was something called Exam Edge. It's examedge.com. That's EXAMEDGE.com. They have exams that you can purchase. I purchased 15 exams, but I couldn't get through 6 of them. I wouldn't buy more than 4 or 5, but I was just taking these exams to for learning purposes, not to like say, oh, I passed them, because I wasn't passing these exams either. I was getting like 492s, like they're scored just like AANP scores their exams. So you need a 500 to pass. I was scoring like below 500s, 457, but I would take the wrong answers and just tuck the rationales in my pocket. That was the point. I didn't really care about passing. But by the 6th exam, and me studying my leak and going back and forth, by the 6th exam, they're all different, I passed it for the first time. I got like a 514. So that's good for practice. But I like the Holier. I really like this book because it really tests, like, it's like the critical thinking type of testing that you will get in the actual exam. I mean, don't expect any major exam to be exactly the same as something that we can grab right at home. No, but you will be tested just this way. The question format is the same. The type of thinking is just the same. And there are a few questions in this book that's on that exam, I'll have you know. Okay? So I just wanted to share my experience and just kind of give back, because I really felt bad when I failed the first time. And even the second time, I'm like thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. I just, like, all the negative thoughts, like, I made really good grades in school. I was really smart. I didn't fail anything. So for me to fail was big, but I know what I did wrong. You know, you have to just take the time. I didn't take this exam the second time until 2 months later. But I didn't study correctly the first time, so I really took my time and quit. I really took my time and studied the second time. So you just have to focus on studying and really understanding. And I didn't answer questions the first time either. The first time around, I didn't answer any questions. Like, really, the only way you understand what you're reading is if you answer questions. So I answered so many questions this time. I pretty much finished this book. It has it goes by each system. So it has all, you can read your leak book, answer questions from the leak book in that section, and also come to this, like, cardiovascular, answer the cardiovascular section if that's what you're reading. Make sure you answer all the cardiovascular systems. When you're done with all the systems here, they have exams here in the back. They have adult gero. They have 3 adult gero exams and 3 family exams, and they also have in the back 100-question exam just on geriatrics, and also if you're FF&P, they have questions just on pediatrics. So it's a really good book to have. It's a really good book to have. So this right here, Holier, questions and answers. Okay, so that's my experience, and good luck to you out there. Don't give up. It's not easy, it's not fun, but we didn't come this far to fail. Not at all. No matter how many times you have to take that exam, just get it done. You know, study and make sure you understand everything, because also this is going to be your practice. This knowledge you have, you need it for your practice. You know, no one's going to, give you the basics. This is what you're going to need. So just keep that in mind, and good luck.